Hello everyone, it's been a while since I did a demo review. I actually am intending to play at the upcoming LAN in Philadelphia, so I have a team for that. So this is actually a somewhat serious scrim. This is our second time scrimming together as a team, so there's still some cohesion, meshing stuff. But I figure I may as well just have something out there. So obviously at the start of that mid, I just die instantly to the fast rollout. That was actually quite sad because his rocket just happened to knock my own sticky into myself and I dead on myself. You will see I die sometimes to the fast rollout and I survive other times. It is kind of a mix of just positioning and DM because you sometimes can just kill that soldier and diff them, and other times you are in a position that's quite safe regardless and you're pretty much fine. But there, I died immediately. Kind of surprised that my team was able to win mid though, so that's good. So of course I catch a sliver of their beam coming through calf. Honestly, I don't like where I'm positioned. Excuse me. Why is it, there we go. I don't like where I'm positioned, and I don't like what I shot at there. Because we got forced, it looks like, considering my med's only at 13%, versus if we didn't have Uber as they were entering and couldn't have exchanged, then we would have been at much more than 13 at this point. But what I don't like about my positioning here is the fact that I already had pretty solid positioning on the point. It's relative high ground, all things considered, at least compared to like the grass and the concrete by choke, stuff like that. It's higher than that. And if they are entering for an exchange, I can still position on the height and actually shoot at them. I was maybe worried they were going to ramp left and I was trying to go meet them. But all I really did was just get ready to leave for some reason. And walk onto lower ground, and in my opinion worse positioning for really no reason. And then I'm trapping like the side of Tetris or something, which I think just one like charged sticky. If I took the time I shot both those useless stickies on Tetris and instead charged one on the left exit of Cafe to hit everyone for like 50, then immediately it's much better for us, and I wouldn't shy away from being involved in an exchange here, all things considered. Okay, I did set a trap there and get a trap kill, but we gave up the point, and I do think that I kind of gave stuff up too easily, probably, all things considered. I do think I generally shy away from exchanges overall, and I very much like to be not involved in them, which I do think is usually good practice, but can get you burned if your scout is not like very, very active in taking those exchanges and very communicative of it. Because if I start backing up, then it's easier for them to take space, which usually isn't the worst thing in the world if you're taking an exchange during that. Because I still like to get involved in the post, right? Oh, that scout was on my screen. I just didn't see him. Whatever. I could have shot a sticky at him, but that's really all. So I'm trying to get some damage on the forward spawners. I see there's kind of a soldier close. They're down so many players that we can kind of just flood the doors. They were down a demo as well, so we don't have to worry about traps, which is quite nice. Of course, I am a little paranoid about this forward. Because I think it was called that someone could have been in there, but looking back, it was only their medic who spawned in there, and their med's not going to be sitting there. And even if their med is sitting there as like an off class or something, then that's just more and more ad for us, which is totally fine. Okay. So, yep, textbook cross here. You can see there's really nothing to do with the Uber. My scout's able to get the gun, which normally I am opposed to scouts focusing much on the sentry. I just like doing it myself, and I can do it myself. As long as there's not like a gun pyro setup, and even then sometimes as long as I'm like in a good position I can usually do it myself, especially if you're on like lock and load or something. Guns are just free, but I like when my pocket scout's freed up to do other things. It doesn't have to like waste 3 shots of their scattergun during the Uber to shoot a gun or something like that. Here, I don't think it matters whatsoever, because as you saw, no one was caught to my bomb. They were all completely out. So as a result, you know, I have nothing better to do. And there's no soldier even close on the door either. So my scout has nothing better to shoot at. So me bombing in, trying to see if I can catch players and not being able to, and my scout being able to take out the gun like by the time I land, I think works out quite well here. And as you saw, the Uber basically did nothing early on because it was so short. So we have plenty of time to cross. And during that cross, we actually do get a engineer pick who was caught. And then it looks like my flank is able to kill their soldiers. So now we have 2 picks with this Uber, which is fantastic. So what I'd like to see myself do in this post is definitely reload. I'm already healthy, which is good. But I think my ammo is not great because I, of course, used a sticky bombing in. I think I used a sticky on the spawn or something like that. I didn't bomb across, but I synced across, so that's like another 2 or 3 stickies. So I'm definitely pretty low at this point. I would very much like to reload like 3 or 4, and then we're hopefully at that point ready to bomb across. I get to focus this heavy down as I walk into them. My scout gets to start capping, stuff like that. So I actually clear the point, and here I am reloading. Okay, I'm trapping off the point. Trapping off the point's weird there. I don't really like it. The damage is actually crazy right now. Or their health is just bad. Yeah, I think I kind of wasted a bunch of ammo trapping off the point in retrospect. I would have much preferred to just be... Oh, I remember what happens here. Yeah, this demo did get used in a main channel video. Because again, I just don't play as much anymore, so there just isn't as much footage to go over. Okay, so what happened there? Shouldn't have split. If this was a more serious setting, like a match or something, then probably shouldn't split with my med. Because, yeah, that should just be getting spotted. But the big thing on last is I was like trapping off the point when there's like a full buff heavy nearby anyway. So like my scout's not realistically going to be able to cap that in time. I would have rather just walked at that guy during the bomb and killed him. I don't know why I'm not shooting those scouts on point at all. I'm just trying to deny their demo walking up when I think that they were clumped like that, and being able to hit both scouts for like 70 damage might just win the mid on the spot, assuming everyone plays pretty well. But whatever. We win anyway because we get a pick on the flank. So I'm calling that their demo is like on the floor here. Not really doing much to contest that scout. I feel like I could be shooting him specifically because it's pretty forward and much easier to hit. And then that's a bit of linger, I think, getting caught there. So we are down 2, which is like exchangeable, I guess, but I don't know. And it's a moment like that that I would appreciate, like kind of a call on what we're trying to do. Because if we're trying to leave mid, then I can just bomb out. But if we're trying to maybe do something and hold off on the fact, like, just being down 2, like play our side or something, just direction like that lets me know where I need to go and when, which is kind of nice. So it's even Ubers, so I can just set up here, and I actually pipe the med. Getting really good spam, all things considered. And I'm still healthy too, so I feel free to just keep peeking this. And this is crazy spam, actually. It's unfortunate that we're down a soldier. Because if someone was able to just commit on that, then they could all blow up. Okay, so we are down 1 at the moment. There's a scout pushing in from both doors. Kind of hard to play with when you're the only spam class, because you can only hold 1 door at a time. But we're able to hold off. They don't really get much value and actually end up losing players. I am worried about stuff being trapped, but I still walk in through the doors anyway. Trying to like clear them, I guess, but whatever. And it's back to evens. Their demo is quite close here. Soldier feeds. I'm missing, but he dies anyway. And our scout dies in the flank, so it's even numbers. It's probably just a chill. So you can see the soldier flies through. He's trying to sack. I'm just going to focus on the choke, which I think I should be doing. I was probably holding a bit close there. I mean, you could get away. The thing is, I was already here, right? But maybe playing in this kind of position, or even like backing up and conceding like this area of choke is not the end of the world, because the trouble is that soldier is able to just land on me because I'm so far forward, and my heals feel inclined to like come help me and get forced, which is not good. Regardless, it goes worse for them. I wasn't paying attention to how both our soldiers died, so I imagine they did some good stuff. And as you can see, I already had traps up choke, because when you get a new point, it's a good idea to just trap it out, just in case the other team wants to take some kind of refight. It's not a bad idea. Okay, so we are trying to dry push this off of perceived ad. This was supposed to be ad because we used sooner, but it's actually disad because we were building much worse. And because we were too slow to take it, it actually turned into an exchange, which I barely live. So what went wrong here, and I say went wrong when we're getting the point in the post here, which is good for us overall. Like it still turned into a successful push. But what I don't like about it is, and if I remember the comms correctly, there just wasn't like a decent call about what we wanted to do until much later, because this was perceived ad, right? Because we used much sooner than them, and I don't think their med was healing much while leaving, or wasn't building much while leaving. So we should have like 30 some ad here. The fact that we don't doesn't really matter that much if we're trying to bluff that we do, because you saw that the other team, they were prepared to play disad. They were back on bats. So if we went forward and tried to push when we were at 70, maybe even 60%, then we are conveying that we already have Uber or are at 90% about to get, right? I'd say more so on like the 70 side. And the other team, who is at that point like 80%, are saying like, yeah, we're not really getting in time, so we're just going to have to sack and leave because we can't stall long enough to play the exchange. So if we went earlier and had that call sooner, that was what our plan was, then we can get away with it. But the problem is we waited until we were about like 80%, at which point the other team's at like 90%, and they're calling like, hold on, we're about to get. They didn't think we had disad. They very fully thought we had Uber, but because they were 10% away from getting, they thought that they could stall long enough and then play the exchange for the point, which is a good plan from them. So I think where we messed up here in this dry push is we just waited until way too late to try and bluff the Uber, to the point where, yes, they still fully believed the bluff, but it didn't matter because they were close enough to getting. Okay, so they're trying to refight. I'm just going to do the demo thing and make sure they don't get through the door. Doesn't really matter how much damage I get. Obviously, if I can kill someone who's peeking the shutter, that's fantastic for us. But as long as they're peeking it safely enough, then I can't really do that. So best I can do is prevent them from getting through. Yeah, this was very sad. I probably shouldn't have dropped down there. I don't know if we knew there was a player behind, though. Oh, why is my entire combo on mid? Yeah, I think I'm okay with saying that I got baited there. And this is an issue that we've had a bit this night of scrims, was a player getting behind just like ended everything for us, where it just felt like our flank either couldn't handle it or wasn't like telling us what they were doing, and we just didn't really know whether they could handle it or not. And as a result, my pocket scout and medic would just leave the point and go all the way back. And in a case like that, I kind of just die because they were trying to push forward with the pressure behind. Presumably the fact that that player that's behind is calling, yeah, they're all back for me, you can just push out. And it's just unlucky that I was on the low ground there. I probably shouldn't be playing on the low ground. In my brain, I'm just autopiloting like, okay, we're going to enter lobby and start pressuring now for our sack. So I drop down. But yeah, it was not a good situation. And Part of that could be paying attention to comms, if that's being communicated properly. Alright, whatever. We're down 1 player, so this is just countersec, basically. And we actually kill the demo. So that's wonderful. So that gives us some potential to pressure. We are still down the soldier, but even numbers, we're the team with mid, so pressuring pretty solid. Okay, I go all in on trying to spam that soldier as he's getting in the pack, and it does not work out. We're just losing players. I think we're just like losing the aim duels here, because we just full wipe off of nothing, it seems like. That is crazy. The server was lagging here, as you saw in that soldier. I didn't feel it that much myself, but quite a few people were talking about how it was stuttering really bad. Whatever, we get forced, so it is disad. And they already have mids. They could be pushing at any moment. I'm just trying to get some quick and dirty traps up before I have to get out. And I am able to get out. They only get a soldier, so that is a-okay for us. Now, with us only being at 40%, and this is not even that much ad, we have not been building good whatsoever. We're building well, I suppose. I think we are going to play this out of last. And part of that is that in scrims, I think taking like riskier pushes in general is fine. Just because like you want, especially with like a team that you're maybe haven't played together as much for a bit, you might what's the word I'm looking for? You might want to just play in more scenarios, because of course if you know how to hold last, then it's very easy to just call off a 20 ad push out of last, and everyone will already know what to do because you've already done it before. You just hold last. But you know, how many times do you get to try and push out of Sunshine last, and being able to practice stuff and stress test and figure out what's going wrong? That's a good idea. So one thing that's really weird here is that my flank scout is sniping, which we definitely called well in advance that we wanted to take this Uber, so they should not be on sniper, they should be on scout. Okay, and they send some people behind. I'm the first one up. Oh, I'm just dead again, man. Yeah, this is exactly what I mean, where my entire combo just full left. So part of this is, of course, we have the sniper, so just the flank shove 2 players in lobby is harder to deal with. But also some of it is just like my flank, I don't think is properly articulating that whether or not this is even something they need help with. And my pocket scout, not hearing this information, has no idea whether or not we just lost the round off these 2 players going behind and is erring on the side of safety and going back. My medic, who's just beamed to my pocket scout, goes to follow him, and suddenly I'm just left completely alone against a team that's holding W. So this is a problem that is happening a lot. And it's not even just that like my flank is feeding necessarily. I think it literally is as simple as there just is not good information being spread around and talked about. So people don't really know what's going on, so they can't really make those informed decisions. Okay. But anyway, we lose. Going to the next mid. Beef the rollout a little bit. It's okay. I see a soldier fast on Bell. He leaves Bell. I see their demo playing right side, so this is telling me they're trying to meet right. Do I shoot Bell next? Okay, good. That is a good thing to shoot. I actually miss on that soldier, I think. I, of course, don't have damage numbers in the STV demo, but whatever. Okay, we get the pick, and they're just trying to leave. The scout is caught and actually decides to full commit. So that's 2 picks, which means that pushing into 2 is going to be absolutely free. We do see demo leave cafe, so I'd be a little worried about traps. We are walking cafe sided. This trapped. We just decide to walk choke side. This is chill. Okay, this is actually an interesting moment. And not just because I just randomly dropped their medic there. But what's happening here? Let us talk about it for a bit. So, of course, their demo did a decent job of denying calf. It would have been very easy for a scout to just clear those stickies. But maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, actually. I don't want to be paused here for like 5 full minutes, but in a situation like this with 2 picks, if they are going to be playing by plat, making it so that the combo, our combo, has a very tough time getting through Cafe and Choke, and they're, committing their resources to holding these doors, that means that Valley should be completely free. Because again, they are down their entire flank, mind you. So if they have their demo, pocket scout, medic at the very least playing on plat, which they did, even if their pocket soldier is holding Valley, it's very easy for our flank to just 2v1 shove him out. He doesn't have heals, none of that. It's very easy for our flank to get in. So as a result, the other team you'd expect to be playing much more passively, considering they're down 2, because this door is very floodable. But that's not always going to be the case, and in this situation it was not. So in a case like this, then yeah, we absolutely need our flank to be getting very involved, because the other team is committing so many resources to keeping us out of the doors and trying to spam us out of the doors, that it should be even easier for them to get in. And the second that they're actually through the door taking that fight, then suddenly the pressure is much more alleviated for us, and we can then take that very advantageous fight and potentially just end it very quickly and get a bunch of kills, potentially even wipe them depending on how they play it, stuff like that. So that's kind of the basic flow chart of how I would like to play this situation. Of course, it didn't pan out like that, and I just overcommit and get trapped out. Part of that is me having a feel for one pacing, and then that wasn't really what was happening, because I admittedly was pretty slow. Like I walked towards calf side of Choke, saw that it was carpeted, and then rotated back. My scout was already through, so I thought it would be okay, but I get trapped off. I know I'm dead. My medic is still like trying to help me, which in this situation I disagree with. And in a lot of these situations where a team is either taking an exchange, and remember, in an exchange, one primary way that a team will get the other team to force, if they're the ones to pop first and taking it aggressively into the others. One way to get the other team to force is by getting a lot of damage on a demo. You can shoot at the med, you can shoot at a scout and hope they use on their scout. You can shoot at the demo is another thing. Threaten to kill the demo so that the other team's medic uses, and then it's actually an exchange and you're no longer at disad, right? It's going to be a worse post for you because you're using first, etc. It's all the stuff I've talked about before with exchanges. But in situations like that, I am a big fan, even though I'm the one dying, which sucks. I am a fan of dropping your demo so long as you know you do not have to use it all. Because if my team, upon recognizing that I am caught in and going to die, just full left and left me to dead, or left me for dead, it's not the end of the world, right? Because we still, we have the possibility of playing an exchange on mid. They still have to get through choke points to properly pressure. And B, considering we're only down 1 player, yes, a demo is a very valuable class, but being able to threaten that exchange and potentially stall for me to spawn and roll out and things like that, on top of the fact that we do still have 2 spam classes in our soldiers. So as long as our soldiers are healthy, then they should be able to get some value and have good activity going on. We just have a lot of players, so we have some capability of at least watching the doors, even though our most powerful spam class is dead. But that's assuming they don't even use. Whereas if I know I'm caught, what I was trying to do here was to get a force. The fact that I got a drop was just random, effectively. I was trying to get them to force so that I can get dropped, my team can leave, and say we lose another player and lose mid, that should be fine because we get spawners and then we get to dry push into mid and then take our ad into 2, right? So long term, we're still expecting to get second. And I know I at this point am rambling a lot, but that's kind of highlighting the value of being able to drop your demo if you know that you don't have to use, because you get to, like, a demo's life is usually worth full ad, all things considered. So in those crazy exchanges, if everyone except your demo is able to get out, it's totally fine to drop him. In a situation like this, I'm just dead anyway, so I don't know if I'm worth using on to get saved. especially since I'm so deep, my entire goal is just to go kill their med. So that was my thought process here, is get that force. Hopefully I can get dropped. Although when I say it aloud, I don't know if me getting saved there is that bad. There's a case for it, I suppose. Obviously, our post would be so much worse, and we would 100% have to leave the point. But you can probably... what's the word I'm looking for? You can probably restabilize, is the word I'm looking for. You can restabilize on mid, and you probably don't lose that much by saving your demo there. So that wasn't like a textbook example, but I remember in the moment being like, yeah, I'm caught, so you can just drop me. I'm going to go try and get the force. Okay, we are through dungeon. I call the cross, we cross. This I don't really like for myself because I just give up the spawn. Where ideally... Where's the rest of my team ending? This is a horrible post positioning. And I'm sure part of that is that I kind of waited a bit to turn around. But ideally what happens there, because at this point I'm calling the cross, so my entire combo should be able to get at least over here. And with that cross, whatever soldier was playing in this door knows that they can then start pushing and pinch these soldiers. I think I should maybe prioritize more on keeping players out of this spawn, because that heavy did pose a really big problem for us. And my scout should be able to do a lot to those soldiers. Yeah, that was tough. Okay. Scout just feeds to my trap. Thank you, Loaf. And now with the pick, and soon to be evening Ubers. Oh, we actually just use. This is crazy. It's going to be much better Uber for them. Oh man, this trap, I think that did like 60 damage. 3 stickies. Unbelievable. But yeah, I knew the guy was going behind because I saw it, and I just kind of suspected that he might try and rebomb choke from behind, because that seemed like something that I envisioned the soldier would want to do, so I just decided to trap it because there's an exchange ongoing on mid. I don't really want to get involved in the exchange. All I need is to have ammo and health for the post, so I may as well just keep an eye out on that guy, right? Okay, the back cap poses a massive threat, and I think I might be caught. I definitely linger there. I really shouldn't have. I'm able to get bowed and saved, but it's a bad linger. We do successfully stop the back cap, but we full leave for it. We were down both scouts, so I'm surprised the other team's not a little bit faster about this. I know they were down 1, so we were like the pick differential was really only 1 player. Ooh, we just take an Uber. I don't like this. Okay, we get the med. Our post positioning is so horrible, though. We kill the scout. I'm 30 HP, and I die. Yeah, a lot happened there. So, of course, we were down 2 scouts on mid, so I think that they still probably could have done more, because, again, our medic is just so bomb vulnerable, because we just don't have a class that can deny the bomb. But whatever. I do like the pop through choke. I think it's quite nice if the other team's like pushed up aggressive valley like that, because, again, you're planning to use your Uber if you think they're caught. There's more happening. And we figured they were caught, and we used it, and they were. In retrospect, it was probably a better idea to just bunker up in lobby, like in lower lobby, rather than just play on the low ground in front of it. Probably a less vulnerable position, or even like walk up to valley side so you have some high ground and can maybe slip out valley. But we just ended in like the worst post position possible and ended up just losing everyone for it. But since we got the med, it's really not that horrible, all things considered. It's just that we gave up a strong advantage in that Uber killing their medic with a really bad post. And during that, I think we actually did get back capped. I think we did. I'm not super certain. There was definitely a back cap attempt on 2 that got stopped, but I think mid was maybe a back cap that went through. Just not paying attention. Anyway, they're trying to fight. I catch a bow. I didn't really do the best job of holding them out because I was weak. I probably should have asked where my combo was as I'm rolling out so that I know I can roll out to the door that they're at and immediately get bowed rather than be very slow kind of rerouting. Pretty minor thing there. It's just a good idea to be with your combo when you can. Okay, our soldier dies on the flank. We're able to trade that out and they just take an exchange into us. And this is where the longer you can stay alive, the better. And I'm able to juke a bit of shots. And it's going horribly for them. Let that be a living example of the value of being able to move effectively on demo. Because their main goal, or their main means of denying, or getting us to use, was getting damage on me. But if I have good enough movement, I can kind of force that scout to beef, and we get such a better Uber that they're just caught. It did help that we had a soldier behind, of course. Okay, there's scout. This was insane that that guy had a buff, because I would have figured he just spawned. I guess the med was able to crit buff him fast enough, because I hit him 160 and he lived. I was like, what just happened? But yeah, we're able to convert. That basically just happened because we got those picks on too, because their Uber was much, much worse. Okay, and how much time is left in this? Oh man, there is quite a lot. Oh, and this is this was kind of a feed on mid. As you can see, that was just a big positioning problem because I was just so pushed up trying to full deny their demo from entering Valley that I just made myself way more vulnerable to the fast rollout. Which is not good. And I just died to one rocket, so there's really nothing I can do about that. Because their soldier can just be as patient as he wants, because I'm alone and no one can help me. So, yeah. Maybe if I take less damage on the rollout, I can afford to be a little more aggro. Or just go off a prediction of their soldier not fast rolling out. So it is disad. They do use... I don't like trapping on top of the shutter there. I much prefer trapping the actual shutter itself. I figured their demo would... The reason I normally trap the actual floor. The reason I thought that might be better in the moment was because it's very easy for a demo to peek shutter while flashed, and you can't really do anything about that. But they'd only commit forward if they're unflashed. But I don't think the reasoning's that good. I think it's much better to just have sticks on the floor so that they can't peek at all. Because even like juggling back an Ubered player to deny them spam is like not worthless. And you don't even have to do that either. You can just wait. Okay, we take an Uber. I get absolutely rolled by the invisible corner of the skybox. That's very unfortunate. Their demo's just completely caught though. Even though my bomb is horrible. My sync doesn't really do much damage, but their scouts just see where I'm positioned, and they're like, okay, we're probably not going to be able to get through. It's disad now. They're down a demo, so we don't really have to worry about an aggro Uber bomb. Ooh, but I'm super caught. I don't know why I chose to leave here. Not the door, because everyone else is already out, so I don't know why I just rotated over. To, like, Valley side just to get myself caught. That was weird. I was maybe expecting us to do more there, because they're down a demo. So like flank shove could be quite nice, or just like good pressure, considering, you know, they can't really bomb their guy. They could just bomb a soldier and that's it. Okay. Our med died, I think to like a hider or some unaccounted for player. Just unfortunate. So I do have plenty of time to get some traps up because, of course, they don't have an Uber yet, and they won't for a little bit because they just used earlier. And, of course, I get really nice traps up in every door except the one they're actually going, which is sad. But they back out, which is nice. So maybe there's hope yet for my sticky traps. Spoiler, I don't think I get any kills with those. I'm trying to figure out, like, a good place to spot that choke trap. It is a little weird because they need to walk in a very particular place. I was wondering if their demo walked over that there or not. I was trying to dead it on the med, but yeah, didn't get anything. But it's okay. We actually stalled them for quite a long time, and now we're getting on 2, which is fantastic. So now that we have our Uber, we're chilling. It's even numbers, so they can sack. But we're happy. Okay, their soldiers fading. And we get a kill on the other soldier, the bomb flank. So now we can countersack. Oh, I think this is sad. I was alone here. Yeah, I don't know why my pocket scout just randomly left us to go fight Cafe. Because their demo was feeding his brains out. And I got a lot of damage on him. And I would have really loved to have a scout with me to be able to just walk at that guy and get that kill. Alright, full disad on last. I'm trying to set up some traps. They're already through the door. So I just use the rest of my sticks on point. Trying to see where it's safe to come out. And it's looking like right is really... We just don't have a post... Well, we're all dead at this point, but we just never established a post position. I think it was my pocket scout was fighting their demo on the right side. So to me, that looked like right is safe, but then their flank was able to just get through the door completely free, which tells me like we didn't have a soldier over there, which was unfortunate. So anyway, I do think there is stuff I have to do. I didn't expect to be rambling this long on this demo. But, yeah, hopefully that was still good info, and maybe a glimpse into the thought processes of a demo player, competitive player at that, and maybe it gives you some insight on Sunshine. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.